Okay, let's just do a quick recap before we move on to the next section. In the last video, you would have actually seen how to create a folder in your home drive. So let me just start this again to make sure we've actually understand it. Channel 9 box, click here. We created a folder as a new project here. And within this new project here, we uploaded a JPEG to trace around and we created this steel shoe drawing. Now, to actually do this drawing, what we actually used was a number of tools. The first one was like inserting a canvas so we could actually trace around and get the shape actually right. We then used straight line and curve tools to trace around it. We then mirrored it to make sure it was symmetrical before extruding it, and then just a quick little render at the end. Okay, so now I don't want to actually do all that again. I've done all that work, don't want to do it again. So in this case here, I'm actually going to save some time. So I'm going to go up to here, go File, Save As, and I'm going to call it Composite Brake Pad. Okay, like again, be really logical with your names so you know what you're actually saving. Make sure it's saved in your brake shoe assembly. Like if I drop down here, you've got all different other files here that you've got, but you definitely want brake shoe assembly, which is great, and go save. Right, now let's just start having a look at this here. I can go back up to my canvas and I can turn that off because I don't necessarily need it. And I come back to my actual component, and to do that I've changed, like I've actually hit on component, open that up, and I'm going to get rid of this one here. I'm going to just delete that for 1 second. I'm going to come back here into my bodies and I'm going to actually open that up, go to body 1, and I'm going to delete that too. Right. So now here, I've actually should have just my sketch available to me. So it's already there, ready to go. Okay. So now here, I'm actually going to go new sketch. And I'm actually going to come back to this one here, and I can actually start working on this here. Okay. Now, if I actually turn my my origins back on, oh, no, not the origins, my decals. Oh, did I delete that too? Did I? Okay. If I would be able to turn that back on, my actual drawing that I actually had, and I'll get it back up for you so you can see what I'm actually looking at. Here. Close that down. You can actually see that this is pretty much symmetrical all the way around. So I just wish to bring that brake pad back in. Okay, so instead of actually trying to redraw all of this again, I'm just going to zoom in here. Oh. Get my hand. Right, rather than try and draw that all over again, I'm actually going to come up here and use this tool here, which is called Offset. If I click on the Offset, now I select the curves. I want this curve and I want this curve. Okay, and I'm going to come in just to show you what it actually looks like. I'm going to come in here, let's say 5 mil. Now it's gone on the outside there. I actually want to flip this. So it's now on the inside. So now all of a sudden I've got this pad, which is the same all the way around. I'm actually just going to decrease that a little bit more. Oh, let's increase. Let's go a little bit more here just to make it a little bit closer to what the brake shoe looks like. 2 mil in all the way. Nice and even, beautiful, go okay. Okay. So now I've actually got this new sketch that I can actually start working with for my actual brake pad. Now, in the brake pad, it will actually, oh, that's it there. The origins are open. Yep, sketches. Oh, so I must have actually dropped that out. Anyway, what I was looking for is the drawing. I've obviously cut it out too soon. But these parts weren't actually part of that drawing. So I'm actually going to come back here. I'm going to get my line tool. I'm just going to click on that there and go up. And I'll do the same on this side here. Click there and go up. escape. Right, so now I've actually got that shape to actually work with. Now to tidy this up, if I wanted to, I could actually use my trim tool and come back in here and get rid of all of these lines that I don't actually need. I'll get rid of that one too, that one, if I wanted to. But the main thing is here, I've actually got this blue circle as such, all nicely aligned for me. Okay, finish sketch. Come back to my home. Where is my sketch? Right. So now here, remember how we actually come back to, let's come back and check my drawing constantly. Where is it? Here it is here. All right, close that down again. Here on my actual drawing, I've actually got, like I said here, I've got a third section here. So this is going to be about 10. So I want to actually extrude this now. Click this one. Sketch one, like that, and sketch one, extrude, select, sorry, again, turning things on and off here, select that inside, and I'm actually going to want to come out this way if I'm just to be correct with my origin. So one side, distance to come out, I'm going to say -10 and then go okay. So my original steel is 5, this is going to be 10, so I've actually started to get that brake shoe happening here. The next thing I actually want to do, again coming back to my drawing, you can see that these sections are here, they're actually cut back, so they're a little bit like on that end of the shoe. All right, I'm going to actually draw those in and cut those away as well. And there's also this middle section here, this middle section that needs to come out. All right, okay, so let's get rid of that now. Let's just move that over there again. Okay, so now I'm actually going to be starting to draw on this side of the object. So, new sketch. In this case, I'm going to actually get that top plane to turn that around. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to draw a triangle here. So I know that this triangle is going to start here. It's going to come down 5 mil. Enter. And now I've got a starting point for my actual drawing. So I'm going to come there. It's about roughly there. And again, I'm just shooting the eyeball because I didn't actually have the dimensions on that drawing. I'm going to actually mirror this. Actually, I'll just draw another line here. Down and down. Escape. And then I'm going to actually just mirror this object here. I want that one, and that one. I've selected. Now I'm going to select on the mirror line, that one, and then go OK. And that's going to give me my even drawing. Finish sketch for now. Come back here, extrude these, and I'm going to go on this time here. I want them to go both ways, to both sides. And I'm actually going to choose that and that. And then I'm just going to pull these up. Oh, it's turned off the two sides for me. Let's go symmetrical. Right, so there. Now you can see what's actually happening here. You can see it's actually cut that plane for me. If I actually change cut here to join, you'll see it's actually going to do solids. I actually don't want that. I actually want it to cut for me. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. So now I've got that section of the brake shoe. Again, that little cutout. I'm going to go new sketch. And this time I want to work on that plane there. Now, I'm going to actually come in again. My line from here. I'm going to come down 5. Enter. And enter. So then I've actually got my starting point there. I'm going to come down, escape, did I actually get my line? Okay, again, line, starting point there. I'm going to come down to 5 mil and then hit my escape key. So I've got my little line. I'm then going to grab my rectangle 2 point. I'm going to start it there and I'm going to come to there and then I should actually have a rectangle there for me to work with. Get rid of that first line. Get rid of that first line there. Oh. Actually, I won't even need to get rid of that first line. I can though. Delete. All right, finish sketch. Come back to home so I can see what I'm actually doing. Click on this rectangle. Actually, I'm just going to extrude. Click on that rectangle. I'm going to come all the way down and it's going to cut that in for me. Okay. So there we actually have our brake pad. Now, with Fusion, one of the neat little tricks it actually has with it as well is that, oh, sorry, this is actually worrying me here. I'm actually going to change this up again a little bit more. Sorry, new sketch. I want it on the front face. There. This little bit here is annoying me. I'm sorry, guys, got to get rid of it. Click there. Let me just come in. Click there, down to there. All right, finish sketch. Hopefully you've guessed what I'm actually going to do now. I'm going to come here, extrude, click on this so it goes this way here, and it just sticks it out. Okay, right, okay. Nice clean brake pad now. Get rid of that little bit there. Okay, now, coming back to what I was actually saying, with the actual Fusion itself here, this has actually got a standard material setting of steel, right? If I'm actually going to modify this, I can actually come down to change the physical materials. Now, in this case here, what I'm actually going to look for, at this case here, I'm just going to look for, I'll use a plastic at the moment, or actually, usually there's a ceramic brake. I'm going to come in with let's just use a beryllium. Okay. And what that actually does, when we're doing future tests in engineering, of course the material's changed, and not just the look, we can actually do tests. So when we come to do bending of materials, if we made that copper, we can actually do tests in here to see what can actually happen with the copper. Again, save here, save often. Okay, so now, last thing I need to actually do here, body 2, which is that thing there, right click, create a component from bodies. There you go, which is going to allow me to actually import that into the next part, which is an assembly drawing. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.